Alright, let's get this video started. We got a new strain we got over here. We got a new strain. Smells exactly like red velvet cake and chocolate covered strawberries. No fucking joke. It'll reek like that stuff. And I got a bone to pick with some of these breeders. And I'll get into that. And I'm going to call them out. And I may even file lawsuits against them. You know these fuckers? So then I have the strain. Tastes, well, yeah. Smells, yeah. Just like chocolate covered strawberries, red velvet cake. It actually smells more like the red velvet cake because you got a little of that cake smell in it. So I go and I'm like, awesome, I'm going to name it red velvet cake. Go on the internet, I look it up. This fucking clown ass of a breeding company freaking named their strain that smells like freaking peppers and fucking, what was that other shit? Pine. And they named that shit red velvet cake. Oh, fucking bastards. Has nothing to do with the smell or anything. So I'm like, oh, fuck these people. Fine, I'll call it chocolate covered strawberries. Look it up. There's another motherfucker out there. He's got his shit on all these fucking seed fucking sites who called his strain chocolate covered strawberries. And that freaking strain, I am not joking here, smells like, according to this person, smells like herbs and smells like pine. Has no freaking smell of strawberries or chocolate or the combination that would make a cake smell of a red velvet cake. So I'm a little pissed off here, and I don't give a fuck. They're not keeping these names. If your shit doesn't smell like what it's supposed to, and you're naming something after a name, dude, this smells so fucking awesome. This is chocolate covered strawberries or a red velvet cake, man. Man, it smells good. Of course, you know, I like to smoke the smaller stuff first. We'll get some of that out here. We're going to have ourselves a good old time here. We're going to have ourselves a good old time. So I've been noticing this a lot with these, I'll call them garbage genetic creators who just cross any bullshit and use a name to make money off of it. You're cowards, you're bullshit, and we're coming for you, assholes. We're coming for you. You naming your genetics after some bullshit that has nothing to do with the smell or flavor or anything to do with it, and you're stealing other people's names that actually could use that because theirs tastes like that and smells like that. Man, we're coming for you, people. We're coming for you. And YouTube, you can kiss my ass. Flag this shit for the music. You're listening to my brother's high school band from 1997. Kiss my ass, YouTube. I was a roadie for this band. You hear those drums? Those are my drums. I was the roadie for this band. They used my set. And I'm in my old band room. If it looks a little dark, if it looks a little screwed up, this was my old band room, man. We got zillion cymbals and drums all over here. Fucking microphone stands right over here, man. We got mic stands. We got shit everywhere. Got guitars upstairs. Here we go. Oh, so good. So fucking good. Now let me smell this shit right before your eyes. Oh man, I'm picking up this strawberry smell with these tones, and it's dark chocolate. Oh, dude, smells so good. Oh my god. The most amazing strawberry smell combined with chocolate. I've been looking this up. I can't find anyone else that's got like an actual red velvet cake smell or a chocolate covered strawberry smell. I can find the regular strawberry. I can find other strawberry crosses. But I have something, I think I have it unique. I may be the only person to have something that smells like this. As well as a lot of other of my strains. Like, I'm shocked. When I smelled it the first time after it's been cured, because I'll give it this. Before it had time to cure, you know, I was still guessing the smell. And then I opened that bag and boom, right in my face. You'll find that with a lot of your strains. Wait till it cures. The smells get so much better. The flavors, so much better. It's pretty nice, actually. And did I mention, I forget which one it was. One of the strains that has a false name, I don't know. I think it was either it was one of them. It was red velvet cake or if it was chocolate covered strawberries. Do you know it only has a THC percentage level of 14%? 14%? And it made it on a fucking website categorizing strains? No way, man. No way. Something's got to be done with these breeders, man. Something's got to be done. I'm debating on creating a platform or a website where we just de-rank strains based on frauds, fraudulentness. If you fraudulently say that you have I don't know, pineapple upside down cake or something bullshit like that. I just made that up. And your shit does not taste like pineapple, doesn't smell like pineapple or cake. Fraud. They should be sued, man. Or they should have to give up their name. You know what I mean? It's really pissed me off. And the state of breeding is only going to get worse as legalization continues. Because you have every dumbass now just crossing shit and saying that they're a fucking breeder and just passing these bullshit genetics that have no fucking, I don't know, no quality about them that sets them apart from anything fucking else. Dude, I've been breeding for 5 years. How many seeds have I sold to anyone? 0. How many strains have I made for anyone? 0. You know why? I'm honing in my strains and shit. I'm choosing which flavors I like, and I'm holding those aside when I find something unique, and I move on, and I keep getting more unique stuff. And then pretty soon, I'm just going to unload all this shit, and I'm going to have every single genetic is going to be fucking fire. And it's highly, highly freaking disturbing that these motherfuckers are just making shit up now. Seriously. Just making shit up. Yeah, this is old school, guys. Like I said, I wasn't lying when I said this is 1997, 1998. High school band right here. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty pissed off about it because I've been spending a lot of time on this breeding stuff, and then there's all these other idiots who are just like crossing any fucking bullshit, taking all these fucking awesome names. And it's all bullshit. And you know, I don't really mind if someone like names a strain after a movie, names after a character, names after some. I'm not talking about that. What my gripe is the fact that they're using smells and tastes to put on a strain, knowing that someone's going to see something in a dispensary and say, oh, that sounds awesome, get it, and just be disappointed. But it doesn't matter because they made their fucking money. Little griping bastards. Dude, that would be like me creating a strain called Blueberries, and it smells and tastes like pine. What the hell is this? What are they doing in the industry? Alright, here we go. Yeah, man, I can't believe the year that we've had outside, man. I just can't believe the weather has been so crazy. We go and we have nothing but dry weather, like the entire year. And then we come on having like nothing but wet shit at the end. I noticed a lot of people were putting the plastic over their plants this year that never did it in all the years that they've been doing it. And that's because the plants weren't used to the rain. And when they're in flower, deep into flower that much, not used to rain, you're just going to harm your quality. Like, the quality was extremely amazing this year because we barely had any rain. Like, seriously, it was like indoor, man. And then when you put the tarps over it and protect it from the rain, man, forget about it. Shit's like crazy frost it gets out there when you don't let it get rained on. Although you guys probably saw my last video. Oh man, I got some of that chocolate covered strawberry taste there. So, you saw my last video, you saw the amount that I just leave on the ground. Now, someone might say, you're throwing out more than I harvest in a year. In all honesty, guys, that may have looked like a lot. Those plants may have looked huge. But, dude, I cut those plants down to nothing. What you saw was nothing that I cut on the ground and left. The plants were massive before that. The amount I got from the top and middle, I didn't need to harvest the bottom booth. And you know, I get some seed in this. If I'm lucky, I'll get some seed. I've already been getting some seed. And the lower stuff, that's all the booth crap that I wasn't going to smoke anyway. I let it get pollinated, and that's the stuff that I let fall to the ground and do its thing. So it produces more the next year, and I get more weed the next year, and I continue the cycle. And what I do is, I've got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. In all honesty, I probably have around 6 strains in that one little spot. And I had a mill gangbang happen this year. The first time in this breeding, because it was bound to happen when you're creating this land race. You're going to have the males gangbang, which means, unlike the previous years where I had one male, this year I had a bunch of different males. And what now has happened is I've saved what I created this year. Now I've got that created and saved. And now next year, I'm going to have a whole new variety of plants, a whole new variety of flavors and smells. And then from those, I choose and I pick which ones I want. and then it does it again the next year. I have systematically figured out how to wipe out every bullshit thing that everyone's been doing the last fucking 40 or 50 years breeding marijuana. I took my strains that I liked, the highly potent, amazing ones that medically benefited me, and I crossed those with a Jamaican purple landrace male that I was told once crossed with that, it would unlock all the genetic DNA backlogged within the plant, and I would be pulling out all new stuff. And when I back cross it, I'll be getting even more and even better stuff. And it'll be the recreation of marijuana strains. Only this time, I'm setting the goals. I'm setting the stuff. So basically, what that means is I've taken my plants and I've reversed them back to what they originally were. And then I've taken those and I back crossed them back into the other one that was potent before the cross. And then I cross it again, and then again. And then I've got a strain now that's now cross-breeding with itself, creating all these new different varieties, just like people did in the 70s, only it was like a bunch of different people doing it all over the world. Now I'm doing it myself, and I'm sniper targeting specific strains, phenos of flavors and terpenes that no one's ever had before. Like I said, last year I had one that tasted like a rose and smelled like a rose. Actually, maybe it didn't smell like a rose. It tasted like a rose, if I believe. Yeah, I believe it was the exact taste of a rose. Like how a rose smells and you taste that, that's how it tasted. It tasted like the smell of a rose. That was it. No one's ever had that. Countless others before that. And no one's ever had it. So this is what I'm onto, and it's pretty freaking amazing. I'll say this, much better. I like it better. All right, looks like the tape is over. We're gonna do this. Eject that. Flip this over. Have some background noise. Stick this in here. Let's just rewind that again. I'll deal with that later. So, let's take another rip of this. Stop that. Play. Alright, so we're gonna have another third bolt, and I am faded right now too. But I find, I guess I can bring this topic up. How I find being medicated with weed actually works for me, and maybe people don't understand this. Also, others that are like, they don't maybe understand the medical purposes of marijuana. So, what I do is, I'll just smoke so much, and I'll smoke so much, and I'll get my cannabinoid all filled up in my entire body. To the point where, like, fuck, you could keep smoking. Like, you ever get smoking to where your tolerance level is, like, so high? You get really high tolerance level? That's where I go for. That's where this plant becomes magical. You have to get your tolerance level so high that it's completely filled, and then you keep it filled. And at that point, you can conduct an everyday life. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It won't affect anything with what you do, because you're at that state where your tolerance level is so high. And I believe the tolerance level, like being so high, has your cannabinoid system is filled with cannabinoids. And that's the healing part, right? And I bet you people will realize that, and they'll get more healed. people chase the high too much, and they're forgetting about the medicinal benefits of this plant. You know what I mean? So, I also believe, they might as well just federally legalize it, because it's not fair. It's not fair if this plant's really helping people, and a lot of people, and there's federal employees that probably are suffering from PTSD and all this other shit, and even cancer suffering and different things, and this will help them. Different, like Caesars and stuff, and they're not allowed to plant because they're a federal employee or they're in Congress or the Senate. You have this old school belief that people who smoke marijuana make bad decisions or some shit. That's what they think, I guess, in the government. Like, you can't have certain security clearances if you smoke pot or something like that. Because of the old timers, they think that people go mad and shit. Wow, man. We got, like, dude, this is exactly like a strawberry. I don't know, if you're in the Massachusetts area, I gotta figure out how to give some people some samples of this shit. I can't mail it out, it's not legal. I don't sell it. I'm not a dealer, you know what I mean? I don't have I can't give it all away because I need it, you know what I mean? But I can give some samples so people can say, holy mackerel. See, I'd like to smell that strawberry cough strain. This smells just like strawberry. But if you've ever had red velvet cake, and you know the smell of the chocolate and the frostings, and the white frosting, or chocolate covered strawberries, like dark chocolate on strawberries, you know the smell of this. It smells too good to smoke. And I can press this out, and when I press it, I get the smell. And then that's when you really get the flavor upgrade. Like, you can really taste that strawberry chocolate flavor combination in the dab form. Now, you could say that because this was seeded, I also didn't get the full potential of how incredible it would have been. So, just think about that. Like, this is going to be ridiculous. And then I wonder, dude, what are these seeds going to do? And then, because I got a male of this plant. So, I have a male and I have a female of this specific plant right next to each other. And that male kind of, dabbled in this. And it kind of dabbled in my main center high plant that's just, like, insanely potent. The one I've been cloning for a long time that I made. So it was crossed with itself, and then it was crossed with that center one. But then I also have a C and a A. Or I guess you'd call it a B. So I have an A, B, and I'll call it a C male, right? I think that's how I labeled it. So the C male was with the D. The B male was with the C. And the A male was with the A and B plant, female plant. So that's how the gangbang worked. And then I had another center plant that was fucking crazy. That was going to be, if that's off that center plant, man, from the other year, it's going to be nuts. So how I prevented the bud from really being over-pollinated, what I did, like the amount of seed I have in this, like I said, you'll be lucky. Like in this whole thing I broke up, I didn't get one seed. Let me look. Nope, I didn't get any seed. Alright, but I got a lot of it. I've got a lot of seeds so far, but you'll be lucky to find 1 or 2 seeds per bud. Lucky if you find one. And I did that with pretty much the whole plant. You know, the lower fuzz, that probably had a lot more in it. So that's why I let it go. So, because I did that with all the plants, the way I did it was I tried to let the male plants not pollinate the plants. I tried killing the males before they could pollinate. This is how I did it. How I did it was, when I saw like a male flower cola come out, and the cola flowers were almost about to bust open, I'd cut the cola off, the male flower cola off, the big branch with the flowers on it. Not the whole branch, just the cola part. And I'd leave the other bottom stuff that didn't have any male flowers on it to grow up and produce more flowers. And then when those grew up, started producing flowers, I trimmed those flowers off. And I just kept doing that with all the plants. And I had, you know, barely some escape. And that's all you need. All you need is just barely enough to escape. Like maybe like 1 flower pod open. Oops, I was too late. But that's all you need. So you can maintain your males as like a stump with little shoots coming off that just grow little male flowers that you end up cutting off. And maybe 1 or 2 will get past it and just pollinate a little bit. And then if you do it in the beginning of flower, you'll pollinate all the early stuff, like the pre-flowers and all that stuff. And then you can kill off the males. And then when the flowers grow, you'll only have like a few seeds per bud area, right? Because it'll only pollinate a little bit of it. You're not going to get a full pollination. And then you'll have clean stuff. And then all the stuff at the top, because you cut the male plants like low, you've been just keeping them low, all your top buds are going to be fucking clean, pretty much. Or pretty good. So it's definitely like the ultimate way to do it. Smoke some of this right here. So this tape is over again. Man, these tapes didn't last long, huh? Back in the day. They really didn't last that long. Now you gotta remember, fast forward. Then you flip it over. Some of you Zoomers don't realize just what we had to do back in the day. Even you millennials. But a lot of the millennials know. Because they're into collecting this shit. No. Alright. After I finish this, I'm going to shut it down. We're at pretty much almost 30 minutes here. So that's going to be probably too long for most to watch. But I got my message out early. So the rest is just BSing for anyone that wants to stick around and smoke. So. I could probably conclude on my original message. That I think that people should form a union that delegates what people's strain names can be. And we actually prevent these people and company from using strain names that, I don't know, that are scamming people. Like you call yourself something like blueberries and it smells like, I don't know, pine. Like everything that I've seen on that says pine. That's bullshit. Now I broke this up. I can smell it from here. It's all the way down here. Such a tiny bud. it just reeks up the whole room. That strawberry smell. And maybe I'll give the details on the strain now, I guess, for anyone that stuck around. Because I could tell phenos and smells, and I've been following where seeds fall and stuff, you know what I mean? I knew that this strain right here was a cross between my Pineapple Express times the Jamaican Purple Landrace crossed with the gelato that I made. So I made a male gelato Jamaican Purple Landrace, and my gelato was the original gelato. When the first strain came out, I got the seeds, and I held on to them, and I bred with it later once I got. So I created the true Jamaican gelato strain. Here's another frustrating thing about that. So I created a Jamaican Purple Landrace gelato strain. And again, someone used the name Jamaican Gelato, and the only fucking claim of fame they have, it has nothing to do with any genetics crossed with anything Jamaican. They claim if you smoke it, you'll feel the vibe of Jamaica. So bullshit, man. How bullshit is that, dude? You gotta be the most bullshitter of the bullshitters, man. First of all, if you want to claim Jamaican, you gotta get Jamaican weed and you gotta cross that stuff with yours so that you get the high of the Jamaican weed. And I must say, the Jamaican weed, the freaking landrace I got is fucking amazing, dude. Everyone was questioning that shit back in the day. Dude, there's a reason why that dude's family is growing that strain that long. It produces insane happiness euphoria. This like meditative, like zen like state where you can just be stuck and sitting and everything's entertainment. Like I could smoke the shit, man, and I'll be staring at my pile of squash and I could stare at it for hours. I could stare at it for hours, and it's just pure entertainment and enjoyment because I'm just soaking up every detail about it. There's just something about it. I just love the Jamaican strain, and that's the vibe of Jamaica. Like when you go there and you're like, oh, I smoked the Jamaican weed in Jamaica. It was so awesome. I loved it. Well, you could have that again. You know what I mean? So, in my strains, you could have that again. You know, in that strain, you could have it again. And it's a bit crazy how a lot of people are naming their strains shit that absolutely has nothing to do with it. So let's get back on track. So that strain was a Pineapple Express crossed with my Jamaican Gelato. That was a male. And there was a female. And Pineapple Express. So that plant grew, and then that plant was bred with my Pink Starburst times Raspberry Kush times Pineapple Express crossed with a Gelato times Jamaican Purple Landrace male. So that female was crossed with that male, and then that created this strain right here. And now this strain is whatever that fucking thing I just said. It's going to grow next year, and it's been gangbanged, so I guarantee it will change, which is what I want. I want it to change, and I want to find the next greatest fucking flavor, the next greatest one. And I'm telling you, I have probably 25 strains I've made, and how many have you heard about? But I promise you, I've got a list from that 25 of some of the most phenomenal flavors and smells that no one has in their shit. So I absolutely love it. Again, this is an attack on these people who call their shit chocolate covered strawberries, and that other jerk that named his fucking red velvet cake. Both have none of the flavors or terpenes of it. They're just choosing a popular food and smell name. Like, dude, like, what the fuck? Just to get money? That's all they're doing? You're gonna trick someone to say, oh, that's awesome, I want to buy that in the fucking dispensary, and they get home and they're gonna be disappointed? You're gonna do that to people? Good. I commend people for saying, I'm gonna name my strain Indiana Jones or some other movie name. Because they're not being frauds, man. They're not frauds. The frauds are the people who say, my strain smells like peaches and it ends up smelling like peppers. When you read what it smells like. Peach cobbler. And you're like, wow, that smells awesome. I like peaches. Oh, wait, pinene. Fucking bastards. Shame on you. Shame on you.